We generally think of iron-on vinyl being applied to clothing or other fabric items, but here are a few iron-on ideas you may not have thought of. Let's start with a fall-themed project using glitter iron-on and some velvet ribbon from Dollar Tree. I had this scrap piece of iron-on, so I'm just going to cut the ribbon to the same size for this design. Now here is the design I created in Cricut Design Space, which is just pumpkins in a repeating pattern. And I'll put the image numbers and Cricut Joy cut settings that I use for each project on the screen for you. Anyone else enjoy weeding out iron-on vinyl negatives? I do, and I just love the texture of this glitter vinyl. So I cut this design in two pieces because I used my 12-inch cutting mat, but you could cut a couple of long strips of this using a roll of smart iron-on and cover a lot of ribbon. So to iron this on, I used my mini heat press and I used it on the medium heat setting. According to the Cricut heat guide, I did preheat the ribbon for a few seconds, then placed my design and pressed it on for 25 seconds while moving the iron back and forth. Now I also flipped this and pressed on the back for about 15 more seconds, then let it cool completely before peeling off that clear lining sheet. And how cute is this? You can make any design to jazz up your ribbons to put on whatever projects you want. Now, obviously you could use this for bow making, but you could also make this into a bookmark and use it like that, or for gift wrapping, or even to embellish some paper crafts. Let me know how you would use this. Keeping the seasonal theme going, let's make a Christmas card using a Cricut insert card and some flocked iron-on. I just had a bunch of this and wanted to try this idea. So to make this one, you'll need the card mat, a Cricut pen, and some foam tape or any other adhesive you like. Now here is the design I put together for the card, and here are the images and shapes used for this design. I also wanted to show you my mat cut screen so you could see that I separated the top of the stocking image, and this will be cut from the flocked iron-on, and then the main part of the design is cut out of the insert card, and the shape is cut separate with one word drawn on, which is why we need the pen. So to assemble the card, we'll add the insert behind the cutouts, layer the shape with the greeting, and add the iron-on above the stockings. It's important to start with the iron-on first so we don't disturb any glue or tape that we'll use for the insert. So the heat setting I used for this was medium heat, and I pressed it for 25 seconds, then peeled it while still warm. Just note the card may warp slightly, but it's easy to bend back into shape. Now I used my double-sided tape to attach my insert. Then I used the foam tape on the back of the shape cutout for some dimension. And finally, to finish it all up, I used glue to add back those negative pieces from the word Christmas. Now, how cute are these textured stocking tops? I'd love to know whether you are a Christmas card sender. Let me know in the comments. If you have an abundance of iron-on vinyl, why not use it to dress up gifts or packages? This little box is from Dollar Tree, and for this project I'm using gold glitter vinyl. And here's a quick tip: if your iron-on wants to curl up, which it does tend to do, just use some masking tape along the edges to keep it in place. Now here's the image I used for this box, and I just duplicated it so I could put one on each corner. And here are my bow cutouts. And I thought it'd be cute to have the bow tails look like they're draping over the sides of the box, so I placed it in the corner at an angle, just like this. I pressed this one using medium heat with my mini heat press for 30 seconds, and once the top was adhered, I cut slits in the liner so I could bend the bow tails down onto the sides of the box. I did let this one cool completely before peeling up that lining sheet. But how cute is this? Now you could really dress this up a lot more, but how adorable would this be to give a gift in? Or maybe you're a small business and looking to dress up your packaging. This would really stand out. These next two projects don't even require a cutting machine. I did some Googling to see if iron-on would stick to metal and was pleasantly surprised to know it does. These metal tags are from Dollar Tree, and while I like the shape of these, I don't love the galvanized metal look. So I'm going to cover it with patterned iron-on vinyl. Now all I did here is trace the tag outline onto the back of the iron-on and cut it out with my scissors. Now you'll want to protect your heat press mat, so I put down a piece of cardstock before placing the vinyl onto the tag. And if you try this, just be sure to use some heat-safe tape to keep it all in place because my vinyl did shift slightly. I pressed this on high heat for 30 seconds and let it cool completely. This is very important as the metal will get extremely hot and we do not want any injuries. I did have to trim some excess around the edges, but you can see the iron-on adhered nicely and it melted through that hole, so I didn't have to cut it. If you like labeled organizers, this will make your labels next level. This final project is for the junk journalers and scrapbookers. And go ahead and leave a notebook emoji in the comments if that is you. But let's dress up an inexpensive composition notebook to use as a journal. So again, for this one, I just cut my iron-on vinyl to size and I lined it up with the edge of that binding. This time I did use heat tape to keep it from shifting, and I used my larger heat press along with a Teflon sheet over the vinyl. Now I followed the Cricut heat guide setting for cardstock on this, but I found that 30 seconds was a bit too long and would probably be fine with just 20 seconds. So if you try this, also avoid pressing on the binding because it may cause the glue to seep out. And I did have a couple of flaws, which you can't really see in the video, but there may have been something stuck to this notebook cover. But overall, the iron-on adhered very well and it brought new life to an old notebook. Let me know in the comments if you'll try any of these iron-on vinyl ideas, and if you're brand new to using iron-on, check out this video on screen next. I'll see you in the next one.